intense in the right way.
Incredibly bright, incredibly personable, so likable, and so humble. I had an immediate fondness for her.
And intelligence.
There is no bullshitting Cheryl.
Pure fear and intimidation.
She was intimidating, but she was nice.
She scared me.
Bookish, incredibly intelligent, amazingly cool.
So smart and like someone I could learn so much from.
I would say she was looking for someone who approached marketing in the way that she did. Took a business-minded approach to it that also had a real passion for what they did in the way that she did, and that really laid it all on the line like she did.
I think she was looking for a partner who was a match for her. You know, had the intelligence, thank God for Amir, right? So he brought that to the table. But could also problem solve with her and have the same passion and care for the brand that she brought to the table.
A company or an agency that was just more of a partner, someone that we could grow with, someone where we would be very important to them and they'd be very important to us.
Yes. I think she'd be most proud that when things got rough, or got hard, or something wasn't working the way we wanted it to, the way that we were able to come together as a team, and those were always our finest hours.
I think it's Red World and Mac World. Those really turned it around for us from an advertising point of view, allowed us to grow the business every single year for years and years and years, and ultimately drove Priceline to start shrinking.
The longevity, which sort of captures everything that's allowed us to maintain the amazing 8-year run.
If I were her, I would be most proud of how many careers I had helped develop.
The dinners, being able to then hang out and talk about books and talk about life and later talk about kids.
I loved just like sitting on the couch and chatting to her about Ruby and her kids.
My fondest memory is when we picked up the phone when Cheryl called to tell us we'd won the business.
About a year ago, there was some stress going on, and Claw was able to tell that I was stressed out. We were at a fitting or something, and she came up to me and she said, "What you're feeling right now, I felt a million times in my job, and I just want to let you know, you're my guy, and we're gonna get through this together, and it's gonna be great." That meant a lot to me.
Cheryl's reaction after DWH presented the Twins TV concept to us, the look on her face was absolutely precious.
Cheryl asks for a nicer room.
They use hot water to fill them.
They use hot water to fill them.
They use hot water to fill them.
They use hot water to fill them, or at least they used to use hot water to fill them, and now they use Priceline.
Taking the hot wire business from a place where we were a second place brand, value brand, to Priceline. And, ultimately there at our peak, we were bigger than Travelocity and Orbitz in terms of traffic and kind of general, size. And, from a profitability perspective, certainly bigger than all of them.
The growth in the brand bucket would be by far the biggest mark of success. We've grown 220% in 8 years, and that's in an established category, and that kind of growth is almost unheard of.
I think we've approached television in a way that is extremely unique, and we've made it work for a brand in a category where we've seen people just exit the space. And so I think that, what we've done combining creative and media is sort of groundbreaking.
What I'm most proud of in the relationship is the fact that we were able to deliver growth year after year together, and that we went from just being a partner on initially a television spot to having a partnership with Hotwire where we were trusted for everything, and we worked together on every single part of their business.
television?
It would have to be year one of Macworld. The challenge of trying to build upon something that was so successful, that was probably my most proud project that I worked on overall in my career.
The research project that was done to create the value proposition that led to Macworld. It was a peek behind the curtain of how real advertising and marketing genius is developed.
I think in the same way that these were some formative years for me personally and for this agency, I think to a certain extent these are really important formative years for Cheryl as a marketing leader and as a leader in general. It's always easier to recognize that when you look back, you know, because I mean at the time she seemed like so in control and in command of everything, but I think we all kind of created this success together, and I think that was really meaningful to her career.
Creepy. Almost psychic, kind of like that whole twin bond thing, I would say.
As if they were born from the same place. Are you all from West Virginia? One word that really comes to mind is collegial. And that builds in the notions of fun and trust and belief in each other.
This was more than business. When Cheryl's coming down to see us, or we're going up to see her, I'm not just excited about the presentation we're doing or about the work. I'm genuinely excited to go and see my friend.
Oh, it's like family.
Who thinks they're smarter?
Nori.
Claw. Getting out. No, you can't put that.
In theory, it's probably Amir, but I think Cheryl would win in the death match. I think Amir would be trying to construct some kind of fancy laser weapon, and Cheryl would probably just stab him with a pencil.
I couldn't compare the two. They perfectly counterpart each other.
Do you want to remove your lips from both their asses for just a second and answer the question?
She might give us a job later, so.
Okay. To always have a strong point of view.
Even once you achieve success, there's always opportunity to take yourself and make it better.
I always learn something from working moms that I work with. And from her, I learned confidence.
I've learned a ton from Cheryl. Actually, I consider her to be the finest marketing leader that I've ever worked with. I find myself literally in meetings with her writing down things that she says because they're really smart, but also because I want to incorporate into my vernacular the way she turns a phrase. She's just so incredibly articulate.
Leadership. Her own expression of leadership and how she brings up her team members in a way that isn't just, being friendly to them. It's really supporting and engaging with them in a way that propels them forward in their careers. And I've seen her do that with everyone that she's worked with. It's absolutely inspiring and something that I hope I've learned a little bit from.
I would say the biggest thing that I've learned from Cheryl professionally is marketing methodology. How to balance the art and science of advertising to create something where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
I've learned how to be a marketer. I didn't know how the heck to do any of the stuff that she does until I showed up at Hotwire and she basically taught me. So, I think it's kind of like one of those things. If we were sitting at a party together, I would introduce her as the person who taught me everything I know about marketing. Just prodigious amounts of chocolate, like a fistful all the time.
She just has a competitive advantage. She's smarter than everybody else in the room. It's just true. She just is.
She's inspired me with fierce competitiveness. She's just unwilling to lose.
She's given me a voice. She's empowered me to make decisions.
Cheryl's inspired me to really kind of know my stuff and kind of believe in my answers when I'm pretty darn sure I'm right.
Besides me?
Oh, come on. You can't ask me this question.
That is such a leading question, David. Look at his smile right now. Like he's smiling. Like
No one said
me.
I'd say a toss-up between David and Amir.
David Blacker.
Amir.
David Blacker.
David Blacker.
Oh boy, I think I'm pretty high up on that list, but I don't know if I'm number one.
David Blacker, of course.
Probably David.
Hands down, Amir. I'm sorry, David, but it is Amir.
I think she's cute.
Okay. I'm available for freelance.
When I think back to how much I've grown and how much of that I owe to Cheryl, my approach to advertising, the way I think about it, the standards that I set for myself, and how thankful I am to her, I'm really gonna miss her, because of just, she's almost been like a mentor to me, like a client mentor to me over the years, and it's been one of the most important business relationships of my entire life.
When she asks you how you're doing, she really wants to know how you're doing.
Her intellect and her ability to use research to inform better decision making is very unique.
Very inclusive, very direct, she's kind, she's respectful.
Cheryl tells you directly what she thinks.
Just like a really strong leader.
The funniest one that I've been there in person for was the gentleman who showed up completely stoned out of his mind and kept making at himself in the mirror because he didn't realize that it was a one-way mirror. And so we were treated to 45 minutes of fish faces and bubble popping. It was amazing.
For Red World, there was one of the guys in the focus group who was like talking about, yeah, it's so great, and it's, it's got, it looks so, it's so red and it's so good. Well, it turned out this guy was actually wearing red glasses.
He had red lenses on his glasses.
And then he was commenting about how in touch with that scene he was and how great it was. And then when we weren't asking him questions, he was talking about how he lived on a boat.
And he was going on and on about his boat. He had his boat on the bay. Chicks love boats.
He gets a nice hotel when he has ladies with him.
And he's was trying his hardest to blatantly pick up all the women in the focus group that he was there with, and he was using his houseboat as the lure to reel them in.
How he brought girls to the boat, and how he would take out his guitar from time to time when he was working.
Not the greatest looking guy, but he seemed to think he had it in the bag because he had a boat.
What are the chances that someone in a Red World focus group is going to actually be wearing red glasses?
I can envision her still working at Hotwire. It'd be a long time to work at one company.
So off the record, you know that she resigned, right?
No. When did this happen?
Sitting at a table with other good friends of mine at Max's bar mitzvah.
So I would like to see Cheryl running a company that will have a real impact in the world.
CMO or CEO of a Global 100 company.
A dieting empire. Have some secret formula that all we can do is eat chocolate and cookies and yet still be 90 pounds. She had her second baby and she went from being pregnant to back to small in 24 hours. That's a shit show.
In my mind's eye.
Now that's added value.
All right, guys, a little less talk and a lot more action.
She always says, ever so slightly. Wait, no, that's Todd.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
No.
I can't think of anything.
Something Shirley would, I would imagine.
Love you, Claw. Mwah.
Hey Cheryl, I know that we are all going to miss you very much.
Cheryl, I really enjoyed working with you. I know that you are going to be a success wherever you go, and I look forward to continuing to get to work with you in the future in your next endeavor.
Claw, we're all gonna miss you, but we're not really gonna miss you because we're going to hunt you down and stalk you and harass you no matter where you are. So, go have a great time now to start with your 2 kids, and we'll be thinking about you. Stay in touch.
It's been wonderful getting to know you, and I know this is not the end of our
relationship. I know it is the start of a new chapter of our relationship. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Bye, Claw.
Claw, I love you. You've taught me so much, and I know you're going to continue to teach me much more in the future. Hope to work with you again someday soon.
Cheryl, until next we meet, and by next, that better mean next week.
I think you're one of the smartest people that I've ever met, and I've learned so much from you.
You mean so much to me and have inspired me so much, and will continue to do so in that new company that you're running that is a change the world kind of company.
Bye for now, and give us a call in a couple weeks.
Bye, Claw. Miss you.
My family loves to travel.
Cut. Really hit love, Cheryl.
My family loves to travel.
Cut. We really need love to pop. Punch it up for us.
My family loves to travel.
Cut.
Oh, come on. My family loves to travel. But getting everyone to agree on one place? That's easier said than done. Michael wanted to see an open-air hockey game in Toronto, and the kids can't stop talking about going to Disney World.
Can't say Disney.
The kids can't stop talking about going to a nondescript amusement park, and all I can think about is some quality spa time. Well, thanks to my resignation, I can take more trips without Hotwire. We got to keep some teeth as souvenirs. The kids met Nikki and Winnie. And as for my spa day, let's just say this is one mud bath I ain't getting out of for quite some time. So thank you, Hotwire. No matter where my future takes me, this is one subscriber you have for life.
HOTWIRE, hotwire.com.
Save big on car rentals too from, oh, who cares? I'm out of here.